Hi everyone, good morning. Cormac here again on Friday, December the 3rd. I thought I'd give everyone an update on our progress. So I guess last time we checked in was maybe on Wednesday, and we were up in St. Louis, which was on the island of Marie-Galante. And so after a little bit of negotiation with the local French traders, in French I might add, we managed to secure some fresh fruit and vegetables, a bunch of mangoes for €1, which probably wasn't a bad deal. And we set sail for the Saints. And just as we were pulling up our anchor to go, we saw a turtle right maybe about a couple of feet off the starboard bow. So great excitement for everyone there. So we had a great sail. You know, I guess like everything else, we're getting used to the boat and figuring everything out, and we're kind of learning a lot about the weather fronts. So it wasn't very far. I mean, it is an open ocean sail from Marie-Galante down to the Saint Islands, which are just off the south coast of Guadeloupe. So really only about 20 miles or so, but you get quite a nice big ocean swell out there, and we're getting to learn the squall systems as they come across us. So tends to happen is you get hit with a lot of rain and some, you know, fairly gusty conditions, but probably only for about 30-40 minutes, and then it passes, and then you can kind of see the next one coming, and so on and so forth. So nothing too eventful to report. We made good passage time. You know, I think we had the wind peak at maybe 25 knots, but for the most part it was probably 15 to 18 knots, and it was dead downwind, so we rolled away the headsail and just had the mainsail up. Great place to save fuel on diesel because there's such a good breeze, and thankfully the fronts decided to give us a little break when we got closer to the Saints, because we needed to navigate in through the coral heads to get into the anchorage. So all good there. And we visited the main island on the Saints, which is Terre, and the town there is called Le Bourg. And you know, the only thing I'd say is we were all blown away by how dramatic the scenery was. You know, so very, very high cliff faces, lush green, so not too dissimilar from Ireland. And I guess that's an account of all of the rain that's kind of running through there. And what I'd say is it was definitely very Caribbean in terms of the vibe, in terms of the culture ashore, all that sort of stuff, and probably a little bit more upmarket than Marie-Galante. So we got in around 4 o'clock, had time for a quick swim and a sundowner, which is the norm around here, just as the sun is going down. And you know, one of the things that's kind of, again, we're getting used to is here in the tropics we are at 16 degrees north in terms of our latitude. So if you compare that to Dublin and Ireland, which is 53 degrees north, we're obviously very, very close to the equator, and we're really dealing with light that is a 12-hour day. So it gets bright at 6 in the morning, dark at 6 in the evening, and then, you know, obviously 12 hours equal light and day. But what's kind of remarkable is, you know, you see obviously a very vibrant sunset, but as soon as the sun goes down, within 15 minutes it is pitch black dark. So if you've got the dinghy out, or you're dealing with engines and things like that, you need to kind of remind yourself to get some of that stuff done right before the sun disappears below the horizon. So we had a great night out down in Le Bourg. Went ashore, found a pizza place, washed it down with some local Carib beer, which is great. And we kind of decided, crew decision, that we would take a day out on Thursday. We'd been kind of marching along since we got over from Ireland here, and wanted to just slow down for maybe a day and enjoy the scenery. So in the morning we took the anchor up and went across to this little place called Pan de Sucre. And for those of you French scholars out there, we're thinking you might translate that loosely as the Sugarloaf, which is obviously one of our big mountains in Wicklow in Ireland, so made us think a little bit about home. And there is probably the best snorkeling condition within the Saints. So managed to get underwater, you know, and take a look at all of the tropical life and so on and so forth, which was magic. Then the afternoon, hired some mopeds, got around the island, managed not to kill ourselves, and had dinner on board last night, which was kindly cooked by our master chef Fiacre. So the old chicken pesto went down very well. And then got ourselves ready for today. So this morning we had an early start. It's about 9:30 now on Friday morning. We've already had a kind of a blistering sail. Again, the open ocean passage between the Saints and just the southern tip of Guadeloupe. So conditions were maybe 20 knots of breeze from the east, so the wind was behind us, and we were doing 8.5 to 9 knots. So really, from a sailing point of view, it was we had a fantastic romp across. We've now gotten around the tip of Guadeloupe. The wind has dropped a lot because we're now sheltered, and we're going all the way up. So a long enough trip today. We're going all the way up the coast of Guadeloupe. We'll pass Pigeon Island on the way, which is a point to note because of it was a Jacques Cousteau marine reserve. So we may not have time to stop today, but on the way back down we'll hopefully do that. And then our destination today is a little port called Deshaies, which is on the northwest coast of Guadeloupe. And I guess this is a bit of excitement for us now because we are preparing for our first change of country in the trip. So either tomorrow or the next day we will head for Antigua, which again is another open ocean passage of about 50 miles or so to take us into English Harbour on the south of Antigua. What's making things a little bit complicated,